San Francisco had everything: the bay, the hills, the fog that rolls in every evening like a curtain call, a climate so mild it barely qualifies as weather. And then, just in case the geography wasn't enough, it became the headquarters of the most valuable industry in the history of human civilization. Tech money, billions of it, trillions of it, the kind of money that should fix any problem a city could possibly have. So here's the question. Why is 1/3 of downtown San Francisco sitting empty right now? Why did the city lose nearly 34,000 residents between 2019 and 2023, ranking among the 4 counties with the steepest population drops in the entire United States? Why are Salesforce, Oracle, Hewlett Packard, and X all gone? And why, in the richest city, in the richest state, in the richest country on earth, are there an estimated 20,000 people sleeping outside tonight? This is not a story about bad luck. This is a story about choices, step by step, decade by decade. This is San Francisco's blueprint for how to ruin a city. Before any of this, San Francisco was a genuinely remarkable place. The gold rush, the transcontinental railroad, the rebuilding after the 1906 earthquake, one of the most catastrophic natural disasters in American history, done in a matter of years. The city that rebuilt itself from rubble went on to become a cultural engine, a port city, a counterculture capital, and eventually the nerve center of the internet age. That's not a small resume. That's the kind of city that should be getting better every decade, not worse. And for a while, it was. By 2018, San Francisco's population peaked at nearly 880,000. The tech economy was printing money. Companies were falling over each other to plant flags in Soma and the financial district. Median home prices climbed past $1 million, then past $1.5 million. The city was so valuable it basically priced out entire professions: teachers, nurses, firefighters. But hey, the valuations looked great. Here's the thing nobody really wants to say out loud. San Francisco didn't fall apart because tech left. San Francisco fell apart because of what tech money revealed and what the city chose to do about it. Start with housing. For most of the last 40 years, San Francisco has made it structurally, legally, procedurally difficult to build homes. Not impossible. Just hard enough that it almost never happened at scale. Environmental lawsuits, neighborhood opposition, permit delays measured in years, not months. The city added people by the tens of thousands. It added housing units by the hundreds. You don't need a degree in economics to see where that goes. By 2024, the median home price in San Francisco sat around $1.3 million. The average one-bedroom apartment ran roughly $3,000 a month. School teachers were commuting 2 hours from Stockton, service workers were living in their cars, and the homeowners who had bought in the 80s? They were fighting every proposed development that might dilute their property values. They had lawyers, they had time, they had votes, and they used all 3. Yeah. The people who benefited most from rising prices became the most powerful political force against building more homes. That's not cynicism. That's just what happened. The tech boom didn't create the housing crisis. It poured jet fuel on a fire that was already burning. A 30-year-old software engineer with stock options was suddenly competing with a 30-year-old nurse for the same 2-bedroom apartment. The nurse had just finished a 12-hour shift in the ICU. The engineer had just closed a Series B. The landlord picked the engineer. Every time. Not because anyone was evil, just because the math worked out that way. And nobody in City Hall thought that was their problem to fix. Meanwhile, the city was spending money. A lot of it. San Francisco has one of the most expensive municipal governments in the United States per resident. Roughly $12,000 per person per year. About twice what comparable cities spend. And somewhere between the budget meetings and the policy documents, the visible problems kept getting worse. By 2024, an estimated 20,000 people were experiencing homelessness in the city. The city's Department of Homelessness and Supportive Housing was allocated $846 million for the 2024 to 25 fiscal year alone. $846 million. And the tent cities on Market Street were still there the next morning. Right. Because if you built a city where a working adult cannot afford rent, you're not going to solve homelessness by handing out hotel vouchers. You're going to have to change the part where working adults can't afford rent. San Francisco never got there. Then came the offices. Before the pandemic, roughly 470,000 people commuted daily into downtown San Francisco. That number drove everything: the restaurants, the dry cleaners, the parking garages, the coffee shops. When remote work hit, they just didn't come back. And unlike most American cities, where companies eventually dragged people in 3 days a week, San Francisco's tech culture decided the office was optional, permanently. The office vacancy rate hit 37% in 2024, the highest ever recorded for any major American city. Not 10%, not 20%, 37%. 1 in 3 office buildings in downtown San Francisco sitting empty. For context, a healthy market runs around 10%. The SoMa submarket, the heart of tech-era San Francisco, hit nearly 47% vacancy. It looked like a city after an evacuation, except nobody had actually told people to leave. Some of them left anyway. Google declined to renew its lease at One Market Plaza. Salesforce moved its headquarters out. Oracle left for Texas. Hewlett Packard left for Texas. Elon Musk moved X to Texas and made sure everyone knew why. The city that built the tech industry was being abandoned by it. What makes San Francisco genuinely different from other declining American cities is this: it didn't fail because the money ran out. Detroit failed because the auto industry collapsed. Pittsburgh failed because steel died. San Francisco failed while generating extraordinary wealth. The money was there, the talent was there, the infrastructure, the culture, the universities, the harbor, all still there. What wasn't there was the willingness to use any of that to solve the most basic problem a city has, making it possible for normal people to live in it. Think about that for a second. A city generates enough wealth to house everyone. It chooses not to. It spends $846 million a year on homelessness, and the homeless population doesn't go down. It watches 34,000 people leave and responds by making it slightly harder to build apartments. At some point, that stops being mismanagement and starts looking like a policy preference. The tragedy of San Francisco isn't the fall. Cities fall. It's that this one built itself a perfectly good ladder to climb back up, and then used it for firewood. What comes next is genuinely unclear. The AI boom has brought a new wave of companies back. OpenAI, Anthropic, hundreds of startups, all clustered in San Francisco right now, paying rents that would make a 2019 tech bro wince. Some neighborhoods feel alive in ways they didn't 5 years ago. But the structural problems, the housing math, the political gridlock, the 37% office vacancy rate that doesn't fix itself just because a few AI companies move in, those are still there. And they don't get fixed by the next boom. They get fixed by decisions. The same kind of decisions that created them in the first place. San Francisco had everything a city needs to be extraordinary. The question was never whether it could afford to solve its problems. The question was whether it wanted to. And for 40 years, the answer has been pretty consistent.